Hello parents! I want to first thank you for taking the time to watch my presentation. In this video, I will discuss the research, activities, not only in the classroom, but at home to make math fun for all involved. I know you might think that I send my kids to school to learn, not to play, but I'm a firm believer that we can do both. In this presentation, making math fun, the importance of play in math. While researching ways to help my students learn the material to succeed in understanding math, I came across several research talking about incorporating play in the process of learning math. In the first article, it states that simple direct instruction in math is not useful during early education, which also aligns with the article from Parks that math is in the real world. It's not in a textbook. We currently do have a textbook that the students will be doing throughout learning through school. However, I am going to focus most of the time on hands-on activities and project-based approaches, which is mostly real-world applications where they can use this math in everyday life. Another point that Parks made in the research was providing strategies for making assessment more playful, helping teachers not only increase demands for assessment data, but also reducing the stress in students. My personal goal is to create small check-ins every day to verify your child is on track to understanding the material. This will be modified throughout the year as I get to know your child and the best ways to help them control their anxiety and stress during assessments. The other article that I read focused on peer relationship and how it contributes to the understanding of math-related play. One thing that I have noticed with working with students is they want to be with peers. They want to communicate. They want to be creative with their friends. I will be encouraging these interactions throughout the day. These moments will be productive, will have a goal, and will be observed during the interaction. Students will be placed in appropriate groups. The groups will be beneficial for all students involved. Each child brings something unique to the group. They will be able to learn from each other. This includes creating good communication skills, to provide ideas, creativity, to enhance the activity. All of these activities will be monitored by me to help encourage creativity, curiosity, and challenge students with higher order thinking. Now that I've gone over the research that I have found, let me talk to you about what this means and what it will look like in the classroom for your child. One of the ways is the type of task used. Instead of students sitting down doing equation after equation, I will be creating different activities to enhance the goals of the day. Some of these tasks will have real-world applications, while others will help promote students' creative thinking skills. When I am presenting to students, I will make sure that the information and directions are meaningful, clear, and short, and I will always verify that the students understand before we move on to the next task. Meaningful groups. This goes along with the research about creating small and appropriate groups that will allow all students the ability to participate in the projects. With plenty of room to work, students will be able to spread out throughout the room and be able to express themselves with not only their hands but with objects without fear of hurting anybody else. Organizing materials. The materials will be available for students. They know exactly where they would be and they'll be able to get to the project faster and wouldn't have to be worrying about if they're missing something because it will all be organized already for them. With higher order thinking skills, these are challenging questions that I will be asking students to promote students' curiosity, to enhance their learning, and my hope is that students will start thinking of these questions themselves, to encourage themselves, to enhance their own curiosity to understand the material. The reason I put down opportunity to write is that I believe that it's very important for students to be able to express what they learn in their own words. That if they write it down, not only will it help them remember what happened for that project, but it also assists with their writing abilities, their spelling opportunities, that for them to express what they learn and how they could possibly use it in other aspects of their life. With assessments, like I said back in the research, I'll be doing little check-ins for students throughout the day to make sure that they're understanding the material. My whole goal is to reduce as much stress and anxiety as I can when it comes to tests and quizzes and the different ways that we assess students. When it comes to math at home, look around the house, look outside, find objects to count. One thing that I use very often as an example is when you're sitting down for dinner with your family, count how many people, how many plates are we going to need, how many forks, how many spoons, how many altogether. That's a great counting exercise to do with your child. Or how many shoes are out the door? If we take away all the kids' shoes, how many are left? Another great example. Find objects and separate them by shape and color, or Legos. This is a very big thing in my classroom. Students love to build, but challenge them. Say, okay, well, let's build with Legos, but we're only going to use this one color, or we're going to only use this certain shape. Creating different moments throughout the day. I want your child to understand that math is all around them, and they're using it without even realizing it. You know, if you want them to help you fold laundry, have them fold a towel and be like, oh, what shape did you just make? Oh, how many sides does it have? Another great opportunity. And if you're doing a project at home, I know some of us are, fixing up the house. Ask them to help you measure the table or measure the space that you have available to buy a new chair. Involve them in those little activities when you're home. Here is some examples of some family games that I've found that are very good. Chutes and ladders, counting. They have to count the number of steps that they have when they roll their dice. If they go up a ladder, how much did they add? Or if they have to go down the chutes, subtract the number. How many did they actually go down? Chess is a really great game for strategies and thinking ahead about which position, which piece needs to be moved, and counting how many spaces that the pieces have moved. Battleship. You have your letters and your number recognitions, different strategies of finding out where are those battleships placed in the game. Monopoly, a great game if you have the older versions where you have the paper money. Great opportunity with the bank. Have your child be the banker. They have to deal out the money. They have to exchange. Understanding properties and how much each one costs and the different rules of each game. Card games. I actually have the directions for each of these games. So if you would like to know, I'm more than willing to email you the different instructions. Rummy 500 is a great game to count. Crazy Eights, not only will they have colors, but they will have numbers. And personal favorite, Goldfish. You can't go wrong with that game. And when you are playing these games at home with your child or other math games that you found, please teach your child different appropriate language skills, like encouraging the other player, like congratulations, great job, that was a great strategy, and how to accept winning and losing. These are all great skills for children to learn at a young age that will help assist them later on in life. Here is some fun math websites for you to explore with your child. Some of these we do have the login information that we'll be able to keep track, and I'll be able to see at school how their progress is going. Freckle is a fun game that the students will practice at their own level, and they win coins, and they can go to the little shop that's in the game and buy little fun stuff. Mathseed is another great game to students, again, at their own pace. They learn. There's different lessons and encourage students to continue to learn. Splash Learn, this is a new one that I found, but I found some really cool interactive games on it. There's a really fun reward process on it, and S is a fun little game with a penguin that helps students visually understand symbols and the language uses in math, and it helps the little penguin go through all the different challenges. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to my PowerPoint presentation. I hope you have a great day, and thank you so much for your time.